Wahala. Can you say wahala? That's how you say hello in Nigeria. Welcome to Patrika's Little Star Cafe. Facts that are fast, fun, and keep you happy. Today is Wednesday, February 26, 2020, and here are today's matters for chatter. Number 1. A Norwegian oil and gas company named Equinor wanted to explore the rich natural resources in Canberra in Australia, in an area known as the Great Australian Bight. But now it has dropped the plan as environmentalists have protested for years to stop any drilling which disturbs the harmony in these natural wonders. The Great Australian Bight is the most untouched marine environment in the world as compared to the Great Barrier Reef itself in Australia. While the Australian government wants to earn money by selling the resources, recent protests have stopped and made companies think of their impact and their reputation. What will they say to generations later, where beauties like the Great Barrier Reef are destroyed? Good thinking. Number 2, a famous lifestyle blogger posted some pictures of her fun and fancy trip to Bali. However, she later confessed that it wasn't Bali. It was a trip to IKEA, the home department store instead. And that was her point. That it's so easy to believe everything we see and hear. But who is the source? What is the intention? And how influenced do we want to be by the influencer? Do we want them to control our minds? Or do we want to keep the remote to ourselves? And what about our feelings? A very wise 12-year-old told us that if we can choose to be negative about things, why can't we choose to be positive and happy too? Number 3, NASA probe InSight has been listening to activity on planet Mars, and it is anything but silent. Over 400 seismic activities like earthquakes have been reported in about a year. That's more than on the moon and less than the seismic activity of the Earth. What looks like a barren, quiet planet sure has lots of activity. Maybe more probing into Mars will show us many more surprises. And now for today's mega matter. Katherine Johnson, the NASA mathematician who planned the space trajectories for NASA's earlier space mission, include landing the first man on the moon in 1969, has passed away at the age of 101. She contributed so much to space as we know it today, but at a time when both women and African Americans had fewer opportunities. Thanks to her contributions for over 30 years and we now have women engineers, scientists, astronauts, and more. But her contributions were not even recognized till much later in her life. How unlike today's world, where we can get access to every detail if we want to, or even if we don't want to. Technology has grown so much now thanks to scientists that on our next future landing on the moon, we can virtually go there with them. Today's word of the day is contrary, which means the opposite. And finally, for today's quote of the day, impossible says, I'm possible. That's a quote by Audrey Hepburn. Thank you for listening, and do send us your questions and comments via WhatsApp, or you can email us at diptyanti@gmail.com. Take care. Lots of love, Dipti Auntie. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Do you know how loved you are?